Good morning, family. Cable Game 93 back at it. First thing in the morning, get ready to get the day started. But I just wanted to start off just by getting a little information on the cable game. Today is a different day. Workload looked nice, so the bag is up today. But like I said yesterday, it wasn't the same. You know, the bag was a little small, little brown bag concept going on. But I just wanted to use that, as an example, how you can have one day in the cable business that it's a lot of love. The bag is nice. The next day may not be that nice. And to me, that's just a small picture of the world in general, of life in general. How, like I said, 1 minute we can be up, next minute we can be down. But at the end of the day, I always want to emphasize how we be able to navigate either scenario, whether there's a lot, whether there's a little. I believe that that has no variation on how I come to the table, how I show up. Because like I said, my natural life is separate from the spiritual life. But I always want to emphasize that how there are two different worlds. You got the natural world and the spiritual world, and you can be able to discern the difference between the two and not allow your value to be connected to what you do in the natural. It always stays focused to what you are. See what I'm saying? Because a lot of time in the world that we live in, we put a lot of emphasis on what we do, and we get confidence from what we do. And at the end of the day, I believe confidence is better served when it comes from who you are and not what you do. But like I said, I'm going to end that segment on that note and get right into the final piece of the segment that we talked about yesterday. I've been talking about the last couple of days, dealing with religion versus life. And the last piece of that, family, we just gonna focus on the fact that now that we didn't reach the promised land in our walk, now that we begin to reap the benefits of our awareness, of our knowledge. See what I'm saying? We just ain't aware, but we also enjoying the fruits of our labor once we reach the promised land. Now that we at that point, I just want to emphasize the fact that it's not over. Just because, we reach a certain place in our walk, just because we reach a certain level of success, that don't mean the game changes and there's no more enemy on the table. The enemy exists no matter what level of the game, whether we in Egypt or whether we in hell or whether we in heaven. On earth, there's always an enemy. You never get around the fact that you reach a point in your walk where there's this constant peace all the time, where it's sweet. It's like, nah, from the way I look at it, it's never sweet. Because the enemy always exists long as you breathing, because we got an enemy inside of us. Like we know on other videos that I didn't used on my channel, y'all know I talk about that inner hater. The inner hater still exists no matter what phase of the game we in. Period, point blank. I believe just like the Bible talks about, the race was given to the swift. It wasn't given to the swift. It was given to those that endure. So to me, it's about endurance. It's about being able, first and foremost, to live out this whole walk from beginning to end and not be unscathed by whatever life throws at you, by realizing the fact that you got an inner enemy on the inside that never sleeps. And therefore, it's our responsibility to shed the light on the things on the inside of us that continue to try to deprive us from being able to stop us from enjoying the kingdom that we have inherited. So, like I said, fam, not going to keep this long. I just want to go ahead and stay focused on the fact that it's not over. Just because we made it to the promised land, that's not the end. You still got to fight. Because even in the biblical example, once the children of Israel reached the promised land, they still had enemies in the promised land. You still have enemies even though you reach certain levels of success. Success don't stop the enemies. See what I'm saying? Success may, according to whatever your definition of success is, it may make life appear to be better on the surface, but the enemy still lurks. And it's an internal enemy. It's not the external that I'm putting emphasis on, even though the external may be real. Even though that external may be looking you right in your face, because we got them. Let's not deny it. You got some people that just come for you, period, point blank. But to me, if I learn how to deal with that inner enemy, then the people that come for me on an external basis, they carry no weight. They have no power, because I done already learned how to deal with that inner enemy. So like I said, family, this to end this segment, first and foremost, it's never over, no matter what level of life that we may reach. Even when we develop on a personal level, even when our spirit is on 10, you still have an inner enemy that needs to be dealt with, and we have to always be mindful of. Long as we breathing, that never changes. The good part about it is we're aware of that inner enemy, and we have the tools to fight. That's one thing we didn't have in the beginning of the game. Now we're aware of the fact that we got an inner enemy, and we have the tools to fight. And just to reiterate on what we discussed on previous videos, that tool to fight is the ability to tell the mind no. That's one of the main tools to being victorious in the fight against that inner enemy. If you can develop an effective no game, you can be successful at no matter what level of life you may be in. But on that note, family, I would encourage you, continue to press forward and know that he's able no matter what's going on in our life. And I'd like to end this segment on that and wish y'all a blessed day. Later.